Because I know it's going to cost me a new whiteboard. Whatever it is.
You know it's going to be that. You definitely paying for it.
Hey, come here. Now, this kid is in the first grade. And he knows 10,842 words that he learned last Wednesday.
Oh, I hate you. Okay, so if you can, imagine it without, like, you know, that stuff would be gone. Okay. Nice, beautiful floors.
Okay.
This is like really, that's like kind of those really nice countertops, like tile and stuff right there, there.
He got a kitchen in that joint?
He does. This is all open area here.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
they got tables?
Nice. Yeah. They got tables there. And then this is like a bigger, so this.
You doing your 10th anniversary there?
Mm-hmm.
When is it? When's the blowout?
By Black Weekend. So day after Thanksgiving.
Okay. How much are tickets?
They're gonna be like 100 and something. We're gonna have, I think, a $75 and $100 ticket.
Because I know Sissy just did her 1 year anniversary. Her ticket was like $200.
She didn't do it yet. It's the 6th, right?
Oh, something like that.
Yeah, hers are.
No,
I pay 100.
Yeah, 100.
Yeah, no.
I was like, you ain't been business long enough for a $100 ticket.
No.
Come see me year 5.
But back here, I thought I took a picture of it, but through that area is this, but to that other side, back in there is a whole kitchen.
Okay.
Yeah, it's nice actually.
Okay.
And then they got, and I got this, they got the big parking lot.
I've been in the parking lot. I picked the students up. Yeah, so I know.
Right, you know, they got the nice little evergreen stuff right here.
Yeah.
We can, you know.
I just only been in the door to pick up a student.
This stuff out. So I think it's great for advertising.
Okay.
You can get like display stuff. I actually did those that are up there. Reminds me, I gotta do some stuff for mine. Yeah, so we need to actually.
Are we live?
Yep.
We live?
I don't know, we start on time around here.
Hey, they can actually hear us. On my side.
Oh.
Hey, y'all. How y'all doing?
Zing.
So if you all can hear that, it's because we don't know yet.
I got my Sheila E here. Come on, quick. Give me that Sheila E song. Oh, Sheila. Is that her song or is that somebody else singing about Sheila? That ain't her song. Oh, Sheila. I'ma love you every day. Oh, that girl crazy. Well, if y'all just watching us kicking these bubbles before we officially start the show, go ahead and get some more people to come in.
Did he cut us off?
I don't think so.
Are we still on? This is the pre-show.
It's the pre-show. I need some water. Glamorous life. Yes. How does that go? Glamorous life. How glamorous life go, Ryan? That's one of Sheila E's songs.
I'm finna sing that.
Go on, do it.
Y'all laugh. She wants to live a glamorous life. She don't need a man's love. She don't need
Glamorous life
without love. It ain't much.
Hey.
Like I'm bust it down, break it down.
Hey, the delay ain't that delayed no more. It's like shorter. Did you notice that? Used to be like a 30-second delay. It's like 10 now.
Okay, it's only 10.
5. It's 5 seconds. Yeah, it's like.
Incline and divides them. Climbing out this box in my mind, it's like having altitude sickness on alpine expedition. Genius vision never fixed in on the depth below. Focus on elevation where others never dare to go. And brainiacs ain't contained in that receptacle. Incredible creative energy becomes perceptible. The cerebral can be an evil alter ego or true pal, and you shall become legendary and futile. Development of a god. I sleep between dates on the calendar. Can't escape a date with a challenger. Now that's a blind date in the field of vision, but my other senses reveal I'm with it. Yeah. The thin line, mastermind, mind of the master. Which one of you after? Thin line, mind of a god, mind of a captain. Which one of you after?
Welcome. It's the green side of things. What's happening? We've been on for like the last 10 minutes, but we are officially on now. It's your man Sadeek and
Cassiopeia.
And we need you to like,
comment,
and share. And we need you to do it right now. And join us for the green side of things, where we discuss the natural, the sustainable, the cultural side of everything: business, romance, politics, national, international. How's it going, Cassie?
It's great.
It's wonderful. We are doing. Ron, how we doing on sound?
There we go. Can hear myself.
Can you hear me? I can't hear you.
We play too much.
Are we out there?
Y'all good.
Oh, okay, there we go.
On the sound.
Yeah, so we got our man, we got Ron in there on the ones and twos. Ron Rilla. What's going on, man? You got your red and white on today?
Oh,
Yeah, I'm repping I got my Whisper shirt on today.
Okay, yeah, that's
it's in there, crimson and cream. I like that.
What's in it for the black people?
You like
Crimson
that
and
crimson
cream?
and cream?
I can't believe that there is a red and white version. Based on the founder.
Because Maze knows what it is.
No, I'm teasing.
Jazzy.
Hey, who we got? We got in here. Okay, yeah, we got Jazzy in there. We got Jeff. We got Maria.
What you say? You good, Cassie? What?
You good? I don't know. He's good. Let us know you guys are in there again. Welcome to the green side of things. Cassie, how was your week going?
Oh, my week is going well. Some bumps and stuff, but good.
Okay, well, bumps happen, right?
They do.
Bumps happen. Bumps
do.
happen. So
They
it's
do.
good. Yeah. Anything exciting you want to let us in on this week? Are we building up to some stuff?
Oh, yeah, guys.
You just shared something with me. We can't share it right now, but I'm excited about what you shared.
What I want y'all to do is just mark y'all calendars.
Okay.
For what we like to call Buy Black Weekend.
Okay. What weekend is that now?
The weekend after Thanksgiving.
The weekend after Thanksgiving.
So Thanksgiving's on that Thursday. We need y'all to mark y'all calendars for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
So let's do this for black people. Do not say the weekend after Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Say
the weekend,
Thanksgiving weekend.
So
do not, because they just mark the calendar for the weekend after Thanksgiving. I speak black people in Chicago.
Right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Right now they was like, ooh, the weekend after Thanksgiving.
No.
No. Thanksgiving weekend.
Thanksgiving weekend. You're right.
Right.
So Thanksgiving weekend, I just need y'all to mark y'all calendars. Just do that. Okay. Because the black model is coming up on these 10 years, baby.
Should I mark my calendar and save a little something? Or should I just mark my calendar?
Absolutely save a little something.
Okay.
And it's going to be a great treat. There will be some free stuff too.
Okay. But,
for sure.
But we want to get in, we want to pay homage though. We want to we want to have flow.
Yes,
we want to have flow.
Absolutely.
So we don't want all the
flow.
Free stuff. We want good flow.
Yeah, we got good flow.
Okay. What's up.
I'm checking in because, we doing things different this year. Okay?
I got it. I'm excited. I can't wait for it.
Because I have to check in with my planners.
Oh, you got planners now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
I have to check in with my planners.
I got it.
To get this thing going.
So we got out there, we got some What's Up Beautiful People. We got that from Gardis. What's happening? What's going on out there? It was great to see you all. So listen, we need you to do just like last week. We are back. It's our second week back. We are warming into this thing. We are happy to be back on Wiftaba Media, but we need you to like, comment, and share
that thing.
And we need you to do it so you can invite people around this lunch table with us. We've got some great topics for you today. We want to talk about. We want to delve in a little bit, and we also have a guest with us today.
Yeah. Who we got?
Huh?
Who we got?
Oh, you know who it is. You know who it is. Did he show up yet?
No, he ain't here yet.
Oh, okay. All right.
He ain't backstage.
He'll be in a little bit. So
he doing, because, I had got invited to speak on behalf of the black people in the indigenous area of 79th Street on the Magnificent Mile. I had to go and speak for them because if I don't, who is?
So if you don't, Cassie does great impersonations, but that will be the brother Ro Davis will be joining us.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll be joining us for a little bit, and he is an entrepreneur and activist.
Yes, he is.
Yeah. He takes both of those labels.
And what is that? An activepreneur?
I don't know.
Entrevist?
Something like that.
Which one y'all like?
What is it? You said activepreneur?
Activepreneur.
Or?
Entrevist.
Oh, an entrevist. Mm-hmm. How about just entrepreneur and activist?
Shut up. So boring.
That's not boring.
You're just not creative.
No. It gives you, it expands your vocabulary.
It's just, it's not it.
That's not it?
It's not it.
I got a question for you.
Who's on the birthday line?
No. Do you ever wonder whether black people are actually into sustainability?
So I would really have to say, with full transparency, unfortunately, I don't wonder it. I judge it.
Okay. What are your conclusions once
I judge that they are not.
What?
What was your exact sentence? What about sustainability? What was the word?
Involved.
They're not actively involved in sustainability because, and let me not be silly so much on this one. It's because I think that although some of us are coming out of it, we're still in like a survival mode.
I agree with that 100%. And looking at so Andre Williams, who's in the comments, just said 55 shot and 11 dead last weekend in Chicago. Young blacks being slaughtered out there, and it's like out there like it's in the newsroom, right? The new norm. And he says, shaking my head, have a blessed day. So to that point, when I was thinking about sustainability earlier, I was thinking about the fact that we're really still at a survival mode. And can you really be concerned about global warming, the atmosphere, pollution? If you're concerned about eating, are you really concerned about what to eat?
Yeah. Because you don't
all
even
of
know
those
how long
survival.
you're going to be here. So who cares about global warming and long-term effects? I can't. Yeah, because I don't even know about my own longevity.
Okay, that's
right?
fair. What about your kids?
Some survival. Yeah, it's whatever. It's everybody just get what we can right now for however long we going to live.
So it's like every man for himself?
I don't know if it's necessary with people with kids, if it's every man for themselves, but I don't think that they can think past today. It's, I got to eat today. My kids got to eat today, period. How am I going to get it, period. I'm scared I won't have it.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Do you think, Ron, what do you think? Do you think, just from the people you talk to, including yourself, your peers, I'm not making this, I'm not putting this squarely on your shoulders. I'm saying, do you see any concern for environmental issues, green issues, when it comes to black people?
I mean, you see concern, but it's just minimum. That's all. I see it, but it's the crowd I hang with too. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, what are they concerned? The crowd you hang with, what are their concerns?
It's just like they're against littering and stuff like that.
No, you know what?
They're
That's
getting on
actually that's actually because I asked the question: what makes a person litter? Like real talk. Like you just does your house look that way, or is your house neat? And then when you go outside, you just throw stuff everywhere. Like what literally makes a person be? Here's the reason littering bothers me. I think you pushed it. Littering bothers me because it's the expectation that somebody's going to clean up behind you. Like you literally have to expect that, somebody's going to clean up behind you.
See, before I got my friends who got on me about it, my whole thing was that the streets was trash anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you was going to make them more trash?
I'm not making it more trash. It's just trash anyway. There's no more or less. The streets is just trash. Like
No, there's more.
Yeah, it ends up being more.
But with me, I was thinking like the whole thing is them building them streets and pavements that's littering also in a form. You know what I'm saying? So that was my whole before I got friends that got on my ass about it. But my whole thing was like all of this is litter anyway. Even the streets and you know what I'm saying, this pavement out here. This is not natural.
Okay, it's not that. So what flipped you then? What what made you see things a little differently?
It's just like you was saying, like even though even though I didn't feel like I was being a problem, it's like not why add to it anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Got
Like,
it.
And if they're gonna be on my ass about it, I might as well.
He was like,
Well, now that's a good friend
be
group.
quiet. Okay.
And you know what really recently got to me about it? Because I have a dog now.
Okay.
And I was walking my puppy. He don't walk with a leash.
Okay.
But it's like he will eat anything he see or try to eat anything he see. And I'm like, why is there so much of this
So
trash
now you notice
out
it.
here? Yeah, like why is he? It's black and mild tips and
Oh God.
all type of stuff. You're just picking up along the way. Chicken bones, like
Yeah. I saw some kids getting out of the car one time, and they was just wild with it. Like he got out the car, and just
Wow.
He just chucked stuff out of the car. Like it was just like bottles. Like get this shit out. Like I was like, dang, that's aggressive. That's aggressive littering.
okay,
Yeah,
I used to
we
be like
don't-
that too. Like it's better outside than in my car.
Yeah. So
But that's my point, right? That's there's almost an arrogance to that. Because somebody literally has to come behind you.
So I think you thinking that way.
Don't they get paid for that?
Well, okay, but still.
There's that part, but I don't think everybody's even thinking about that part. I think they're thinking about their environment. I don't want this in here. Throw it there. Throw
You
it
think that's-
away.
that's the base
Yeah,
of
I
it.
don't think they're thinking that, I throw this outside, somebody gonna pick it up. There might be some, but I don't think that that's, like consciously going through their head as to why.
No, I know
don't
it's not. I don't think it
I don't
is.
think there's any expectation. I think
It's
out.
just get it out of my face. Just know it's
Yeah,
gonna land there. Who's gonna pick it up?
I don't care.
You don't
It's
care.
that- I have my only care is my environment. Period. In this little space that I got.
When you ask yourself
That's-
who's gonna pick it
And
up,
it might be inside of a junkie car.
There's an answer to who's gonna pick it up.
No, but I get that there's an answer to
Who?
who's gonna pick it up. But
They
again,
cleaning. They have people who's supposed to come and clean.
Yeah,
the
but that's
neighborhood.
like how often is that? And we also see that
another,
there's.
but that's another issue.
But watch
though. Like,
this,
we
though.
we can't put it on us.
but that's
Yes, we
not.
can.
Well, watch this. That's not
Yes,
to
we
clean up
can.
litter, though.
Yeah, that's
Let's be
actually for
clear.
debris, right?
Yeah, that's not to clean up litter. That is to clean up debris. You think about it, if everybody just cleaned up, and I'm talking about household lessons, right? My mom and dad taught me this. I didn't have to like go to school and take a litter class, don't litter, or have somebody be like, that's not a good thing to do. It was just taught in the household that you picked up after yourself. And so lessons, I think how you do one thing is close to how you do everything.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're picking up, it's pretty hard to divorce it. Just for me,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm picking up after myself as a kid, all the way through a teenager, as I spend more time in the streets, it's even hard for me to let it go out of my hand.
Yeah.
Because it needs to go in a trash receptacle. It needs to go somewhere, not on the grass, the street, in the sandbox, on the playground where your dog can get it. Right? Because usually it's a third party experience like that where we were like, oh my God, I didn't realize, like, you got to get to another point of realization. But when is it okay
But
just to throw
that
something
comes to another
anywhere?
Point too, like, and not to say that because I'm not trying to say littering is okay. I don't do it anymore. But I like to play devil's advocate. But there's too much product being made anyway. Now we have an abundance of product out here, so the garbage is overflowing anyway. Like even when we dump the garbage into the right places, they take it and put it in the wrong place. You know what I'm saying? Because there's no space for that. It's too much stuff out here.
Okay, so why don't we limit our consumption?
That's the real issue. Like, but we don't do that because the economy puts that consumption in our face. They force that consumption on us. All that junk food and stuff in the stores. That's not us. You know what I'm saying? That's they're advertising consumption.
So let me just say this though too. I think you hit upon something, Sadeek and Ro. We got you. I've just got to set up this.
Yeah, we coming, Ro.
I'm coming, Ro. So what I think you touched upon is care, right? So there's a level of care that has to be instilled from the beginning or at some point in a youth's life. And I think that's what it really boils down to. If I'm in survival mode as a parent, I don't have time to care about those
what's
things.
going on. Yeah.
Right? I only care right now that I need to find a way to get food and pay this rent. Everything else is secondary, tertiary, whatever.
Okay.
Right? So when you have the time to care and teach the care so that you will care, I think that's what it really, really, really boils down to. It's like, yeah, where is the sense of care and value?
All right, so let me, and then let us know what you all think out there. If you're listening, obviously you guys are watching, shout out to Facebook and YouTube Live. What do you think about littering? Is it a non-issue? Do you care about it or not? And then care is really strong. And again, I realize that part of it is, maybe what was done in your household. But I just thought clean up after yourself was just a regular everyday thing. Not even my heart is bleeding for the streets, but it's like, yeah, like clean up after yourself.
Somebody
like
had to care. Your mom cared.
Okay,
she cared about her household.
It like if MJ just leaves his plate somewhere, do you go get it for him and wash it for him, or do you go, hey kid, put that in the sink or put that in its proper
place? That goes back to what Cassie was saying, but that's in their environment. You know what I'm saying? Once they get outside their environment, then the mentality, like, yeah, keep my space clean. That's not my space. That's their mentality.
Well, then so now that goes back to. Do black people care about the environment? Because it's all our space. When is it not your space?
It goes back to what Cassie was saying. It's not really about the caring. It's about what do I have time to care for? You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I'm with that.
I got time to care for that. I got it's a lot. I got bills. I got to feed mouths. I can't care about that right now. That's what a lot of people thinking.
Okay, so, but then my question is to that. I don't know how we got off on littering, but my question to that is and I've seen it even in a household that is at the borderline, right? Fighting to exist every day. I've still seen moms and dads say to their kids, because there's 5 of y'all, you're getting ready to pick up after yourself. Period. I'm not picking up after you. That bomb pop wrapper, those candy wrappers, that cereal bowl. That's go get it and clean up after yourself. So, and in my mind, just when I see litter, I get it. People aren't thinking, or it's not a concern. But it's just like, to me, the assumption is somebody's going to clean up after me. Now, and some people do live like that in their households.
Probably don't. Yeah, they probably not cleaning up at home.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right,
no
that's
one's
fair.
caring at home. Like real talk, I've seen a lot of the people that I've seen do that type of stuff. Their homes look like crap too.
Okay, that's what I want to get
Yeah,
at.
like
You know,
yeah,
like it's not
coming
like
from that's what I meant by the parent has to care. Nobody cares. The dishes aren't being washed. Ain't nothing being swept. First of all, parents not even cooking at the crib. They damn for sure not cleaning. Do whatever. Listen, just leave me to my room and let me get my peace for when I get it. You just do what y'all want to.
Okay.
What you
I'm
got,
with that.
Ro?
So everybody, just want to introduce one of our favorite entrepreneur activists, brothers on the South Side, fighting every day to make a difference, first of all, in his life and then others around him. But we have Mr. Ro Davis with us. Ro, can you hear us?
Absolutely. Can you hear me?
Absolutely. It's good to hear you, brother.
I've been wanting to say something on this topic. I thank you for bringing me in, Cassie.
You're welcome. I had to get reacclimated to the system again.
But I just want to say this about the littering thing, because I think that what everyone has said is true. I think that littering is an extension of the lack of ownership. So the people who are throwing the stuff out the car, they're cleaning the car because they own it in most cases. And so when you don't feel ownership, you know what I'm saying?
Real.
I think that you just like whatever. It's all litter. The idea that the consumption, like there's more products, where there's more products in white neighborhoods, and I would argue that they have the ability to buy more than we do because they have a higher net growth. So I don't think that that's the problem. I think that there's a lack of ownership in the community, in the housing, and I think that those people that keep a nasty house, I'm not saying this is 100% true and all, but there's just a lack of ownership. And so there is the idea that this is somebody else's responsibility and not mine. To your point, Sadeek, but it's stemming from a lack of a connection. I think.
Make a lot of sense.
You know what, Ro?
Yeah, and that's a real estate mind.
Ro, sometimes you impress me.
Because when people have property,
It's like
they
the
do
broke
same
clock
thing.
theory.
They clean up their property.
What'd you say?
I can be right every now and then.
Sometimes, I think, you know what? He didn't just charm his way through college.
He read a book or two.
You actually did some work.
Yeah, that's my man.
But
We can't hear you. What'd you say,
I
Ro?
can't every one of your points, Cassie. Just so you know, I'm always impressed by everything you say.
Oh my gosh.
Oh boy. Here we go
Love you
again.
too, Ro.
Oh, really? I think
But no, I think that's
that's
an excellent explanation, Ro. And then I think that there are also some outliers there, because I think there are people who own stuff and don't take care of it. But you do have, for the most part, people who have a stake in something, try to make it, keep it clean or keep it in some type of working order. They value it, which to the point, because the original question was, do black people care about the environment, what's sustainable, what's natural? But, Ron said something that made me think, which was, if I don't see the outside as mine or have no collective ownership, then it's just that, right? It's disposal land, because I can own a car, I can own a house, but do I really have ownership over like the air and these public walkways?
Not even
right?
that. Not this, all of the stores and stuff that we walk past.
Right.
Most of us don't live in black communities anyway.
Most of us don't live in black communities, or
black owned communities.
oh well,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
When you walk past a gas station and the Arabs work there, you walk out of the gas station with a wrapper you just bought from an Arab and you take it off and throw it.
Yeah.
That's the Arab property.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying? Let me
Okay.
go
back to
home.
ownership. But Sadeek, you said something. Should black people be concerned about the environment and those other things that are very important, but live outside of survival. And I think that we should be, but I think it's irresponsible on some levels, and I don't know if that's the best choice of words, when we're struggling with how we're going to pay the rent, et cetera, et cetera. We have to prioritize our struggle because you can't do everything at once. And I want to bring you to what I think is the smoking gun of priorities, if you will. And I don't even know if that's the right choice of words, but you look at somebody, the richest man in the world, Elon Musk. Elon Musk is totally elevated beyond the problems of survival, of wealth, and now he's thinking of how we can populate the moon.
Right.
I look foolish trying to figure out how to populate the moon or Mars when I can't keep my own backyard straight. But he has the space because that's the next frontier to conquer.
That's real talk.
I'm like worried about what's going on the moon, and I'm sitting around here fighting these people over here just for survival.
Yeah, that's real talk.
Volumes, you know.
Telling them to keep their dog quiet.
Yeah, but you know what? I think that because I don't think it looks like your sound went out, Ro.
Cassie may have cut me off.
Oh, okay.
No, Rhoda, you got a fan behind your computer? Are you fake smoking?
What's a joint? I'm trying to be a part of the greener side of things.
Oh, okay. Okay. I get it. Yeah, look, Rod's like, yeah.
But wait, do you have a fan behind? Or is there an air conditioner behind in there or something?
No, nothing's on. Is there a noise? Because I don't
Yeah. It sounds like you're preparing to launch. It's what it sounds like. Sounds like you're in Houston.
Catch up with Elon Musk.
Yeah,
he's trying to take off after this.
But I was gonna say before we went to the little green earth side that I find it interesting. So because all Europeans aren't concerned about what Elon Musk is concerned about, right? Like he has the ability to kind of do that. And who for us is connecting into, like, I get it, like survival, but who's connecting? I think the whole planetary thing is like asinine.
Listen, you ain't gonna find one black person is trying to. You talk like connecting to,
no,
the environment,
like to the environment, not to. Okay. Yeah, I don't even find value in looking at another planet.
We only want to want to spiritually go to another galaxy. But
all your billionaires, look at what's happening, though. It makes
sense. But you know why they're looking at another planet, right?
Because this was being destroyed.
Yeah. So the whole point is, like, I'm like, please go. Please go. Find it inhabitable. Get your rocket ship and leave. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm like, please go. I would appreciate that.
Focus on the moon and Mars. You got all the wealthiest men focused on outer space. And I'm saying it's a matter of priority. Yeah, we all know that we're destroying the planet, but who has time to address it?
Right.
That
trickles down.
Right.
So that trickles down even to levels. Yeah,
and
so even
economic level.
You have to have, right. So I get what Ron is saying. You have to have the mental capacity to just go above wherever, right, your mode of living is, right? If I'm in survival mode, no, I cannot think about the longevity of nothing. I don't even think about the longevity of myself. I'm just thinking about today. Right? When you get to a place of maybe like, you know, when you're like, you have some ownership, you know, then you're going to at least care about, I think, the grooming. You still might not be there on the planet stuff. Just don't make my property value go up, right? My property tax go up, rather. So I think once you start getting into like either A, you just got a super conscious parent or mentor in your life, or B, now you're in a wealth bracket where solar energy matters, where right, the destruction of the planet affects your business, maybe your investments, anything like that. I think the mindset starts hitting, at that point too, for when it starts to reach more of the population.
That's exactly it. That's my point.
You know what I propose that played a huge role in that?
What?
I believe that monotheism plays a huge role in that. And I think monotheism is the modern belief that some type of reconnection, connection to, or some type of salvation will come through some type of man or woman. Mm-hmm. And once the planet shifted to a majority of monotheists, then now you no longer see ancient melanated spiritual systems. I don't even like to use the word religion, but ancient and melanated spiritual systems all focused on the elements. They all focused on harmony with the water. Mm-hmm. They all focused on harmony with the sun. They focused on harmony with the soil.
More than one God.
That's from I would say that's us looking back from it through a European lens. What I want to say is, I just want to use the term without the term gods, because God is a placeholder anyway, because even when you go to spiritual systems of antiquity, the quote-unquote gods all have frequencies or names, or all representing some type of
natural.
Exactly. So now you have a direct link, or you have a direct understanding of the behavior of water or the behavior of air, or you have a link to the behavior and the cycles and the seasons, right? Because it's all incorporated into your understanding of how nature and how the universe works. Mm-hmm. But once we get introduced to monotheism, right, then all of your energy is put into this understanding of a man, right? Mm-hmm. And so now I was watching a video some years ago where there was a religious leader in Florida, and she was saying a lot of off the wall stuff, but she literally said that she owed a great deal of gratitude to the slave captors, because had her grandparents, great-grandparents, or people not been brought over here in the slave ship, she might be somewhere in Africa worshiping a tree. Mm-hmm. And so to that, really, I felt that her relationship to the planet might be better off if she actually understood, right? She can't live without a tree. Let's have real talk. The tree exhales oxygen, the very thing that she needs to live, right? But she has no relationship with the tree. She is a monotheist, right? So this personified deity that has nothing to do with nature or the natural elements. And so as that is pervasive on the planet, you can actually have, quote unquote, a spiritual relationship and never even consider the tree. So I think that's a part of the psychological issue that people are facing today, because you can be involved in politics, you can be involved in religion, you can be in business, the whole line, and never consider the proper eco or the proper balance of soil to water on, the shores or the hill, or what the tree or the two species that went extinct last week. It doesn't even, first of all, you don't hear about it, never crosses your mind, because anything really to do with the ecology, with the atmosphere, with the elements, with the environment, it's not part of how we are raised in this society. And if you do have something to do with it, if you go to school now for agriculture, it's all augmented agriculture. Mm-hmm. You're going to learn how to use pesticides and unnatural chemicals, and how to change plant species and use animal substrates in order to extend the life of a tomato, right? Combine it with a fish and all this old craziness. And so there is a lack of reverence for the natural. And so I feel that plays into us not having a real relationship with the air, with the soil, even with each other, right? Even when you get down to what does it mean to take somebody's life, right? There's this kind of this inanimate lack of relationship between beings that we experience. So anyway, I just wanted to just kind of highlight that. So Cassie, what do you think? Ro, is he still
Ro
there?
look like he's pursing his lips to say something.
I thank you, Cassie, for recognizing the power of my lips as they quiver.
Bro, I have to banter with you like this, so forgive me. It's like
I got no problem with you. I actually love you.
yeah.
So Sadeek, you kind of started with monotheism, which is a new term I've never heard. It's interesting. Thank you for upgrading my knowledge there. But I think our ancestors also were not faced with the same issues as those billionaires and those of us who live in modern times, if you will. I don't know that the planet was saturated. I don't know that there were automobiles and things that man was doing that was killing the planet that would have those who, we're all aware of the effects of pollution and things of that nature. But I don't know that those billionaires are doing those things because they're obsessed, and maybe I'm wrong in terms of my interpretation of what you're saying with the whole Jesus complex. Like somebody.
Yeah, when I'm not even using Jesus.
He is a great example, though, of somebody saving us, right? Would you argue and agree with that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But the reason, of course, even if you look at the stats, right? So the whole, but monotheism could be anything. It could be Muhammad. It could be Buddha. Monotheism. What I would argue is the reason that we have the issues with the billionaires and the people is because there has been this separation between God and nature. And I think that the reason that they didn't have this, so to speak, so much as we have now is because of the teaching or the relationship. There are just certain indigenous places where you grew up in where you were taught the relationship between people and water, people and this and people, and it was inculcated in the spiritual reality that was around you. So my point is exactly that, because that's not the reality today, because most people subscribe to some form of monotheism, they have no connection to the elements. So when they're making a product or developing something, they're not at the boardroom like, how does this interact? When they came up with
how will
plastic,
it affect the environment?
right? How will it affect the environment? There's nobody at the table primarily asking that question. That's why we have plastics and things that don't integrate into the natural scape of things or into the ecology of things. So I'm just saying that there is a void in the consideration of the environment.
I will say this, right? There's something naturally instinctive about melanated people, at least when they're outside of survival mode, that is considerate of nature. And I say that because, right, we have a list. We got 5,000 businesses in our directory and in our database. And those businesses, and we were talking about this a little bit earlier, I kind of broken up into majority 3 industries: food and restaurants, beauty, and there was one other.
Food, restaurant. Well, we talk mostly about food, restaurants, beauty.
And beauty, and I think service, just the service, and most black business owners
clothing.
are
We have a
service oriented, but then mostly in beauty and then food and restaurants. And when it comes to the beauty, they're usually making the beauty products. They're making the hair creams and shampoos, and they're making the
It's usually some all-natural
and
type
it's
stuff.
usually all natural.
that's love.
And it's mostly they're utilizing recycled, sustainable packaging. They want to make sure that there's no chemicals inside of the actual products. Like there is something, once I said, like once melanated people are in the creative space, our mind is not thinking about mass production. We're thinking about creating a quality product that's going to be really good for you. And especially when it comes to like the beauty industry, when there's hair and skin, it's actually for the purposes of healing from all of the chemical exposure.
I believe that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Like we're on the flip end of taking all of those chemicals and what have you.
And we're taking them out. No.
Right.
We're going to make it. We are, invoking that Madam C.J. Walker and Annie spirit, who were tapping in directly to their ancestors who gave them these ingredients. I mean, even the sister that's making, sorry guys, the menstrual pads that are on the shelves at Target. It's called
that's
Honey
real talk.
Pot. Like she talks about, like she had a Madam C.J. Walker experience where literally an ancestor came to her and told her how to make these items for women that used all natural ingredients. So, only I think when our people are in the oppressed survival mode, it's not that I think that we intentionally want to destroy it. It's just that we just can't think about that aspect of it. But once ignited into a creative space, it's just instinctive.
Yeah.
I believe.
I agree.
I would go with that.
Cassie, wholeheartedly. It brings me back to the ISIS papers with Dr. Frances Cress Wesley, and she talks about the Euro Gentiles' war with nature. The black man and woman, are, being that we were the first man and woman, we were in tune with nature. They are diametrically opposed in terms of when you look at the human family and evolution. And so she always talked about they were at war with nature and physical things and, things that were external to the life and, not considering the planet, because secretly there's a war against the lack of melanin within their skins and things of that nature. And so it makes sense when you think about black people and you think about this idea that the first shall be last and the last shall be first. We created a world that was worth having. They took that world over and has created a world that's dying. Now the growth industries are in sustainable realities. And black people, this is something that we have, as Cassie just explained beautifully, naturally, instinctively are connected to, which I just think gives us a leg up in the world that is to come, the world that we're destined to build. And so our wealth and our blessings will not come from the imitation of life, but rather the creation of things that live.
I love it. In other words, no more monotheism.
And go buy Ro Davis's tape. It's on the shelf next to Farrakhan's.
No, that's a point well taken, Ro, and I think that it perfectly underscores. I do. Sometimes when I talk, I try to talk about the purity of the concept, but it would make sense that, literally on the political, even the spiritual front, that what you just talked about in terms of being non-melanated or having this lack of connection, it would make sense for you to be a monotheist. And it would make sense that at our core, even when we get back into ancient spiritual systems, it would make sense that they had a relationship, whether it was a story relationship, whether it was an understanding, that it was illustrated through a relationship with the nature, a relationship with gods or with frequencies that were represented by real pieces that you could reach out, touch, and that you had to have the water you had to drink it. You had to have a relationship with it. You had to bathe in it, right? You had the soil. You had to grow in it. You had to understand the cycles and the seasons for eating and food. Like, there were just so many things that are relevant to your, I don't want to use the term survival in a negative way, but just your living, right? That you couldn't, I won't even say you couldn't afford to ignore it, but just there were lessons when we ignored our relationship to the elements. And I think that's part of what we're experiencing today. And I also agree with Cassie, like when we're not in just for today, like survival mode, like there's this link that you know makes us do stuff like put gardens in Inglewood or grow watermelons in our backyard or look for fresh tomatoes and peppers, like because we are doing that.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
you know, I just think we need to call more attention to it, which is why I asked the question.
I mean, it's showing up. You know, we're seeing it on the news. Major floods in Thailand, right? Tens of thousands of people are out of their homes. The fact that New Orleans and Haiti is hit again, right? Where people are having to leave in drones. New York, the subway stations were completely flooded.
Completely
flooded. I mean, if you saw that video of the people, like the social media video of the water rushing through, can you imagine being, you know, on the Blue Line underground?
You know why?
What?
Because when they issue them warnings, we have different melanated reactions. Hey, y'all, don't go in the subway today. Okay. But the non-melanated reaction is, I got to get to work anyway. I don't care what they say. I can fight the rain. So it's two different reactions. It's definitely two different reactions. It's like the Eddie Murphy piece when he was like, you know, hey, baby, this is a great house. We got just a playground across the street and got all the room we wanted. It's just what you wanted. Get out. It's too bad we can't stay, baby. Immediately.
No thought. Oh, hell no.
No, we can't stay there. So
good.
to your,
right?
the floods,
but
absolutely.
Like, the floods are happening. You got the wildfires, the hurricanes that are hitting. For some reason we think, and right, you know, I thank God for really smart people in my life. You know, my fiance Dre, and then one of our business partner Donnie. They're sitting here talking about the earthquake in Greece happening right at the same time, right before the floods in Thailand, and the fact that when you have an earthquake one place, it's going to cause a tsunami somewhere else.
Right, it's going to trigger.
Right. So, like, these things are all connected. And then thinking about, and then he was just, Donnie was like, wait a minute, do they drill in Greece for oil?
Fracking.
What is that?
That's like breaking up. That's like, it's a whole thing in the United States now, right? That's why they're trying to decide between where you literally go into the earth and you're like creating cracks looking for either water or oil. It's called fracking.
Wow. So if that type of stuff is happening, then it's going to cause these natural disasters that are going to happen. And the other thing is, then it was the conversation got deeper when we're talking about, you know, extracting all this oil. That's literally like the lifeblood of the planet. And if we keep extracting it out, then everything's gonna loosen up, and we all just it's gonna be floods everywhere. Well, it's over with.
That's why they are sending these rockets up into space. But I'm like, but see, because if they leave, then the fracking stops. If they leave,
we gotta get them to leave quicker.
That's what I'm saying. Go. I'm all with it. I'm watching out. Like, leave. Yes. Get your rocket.
What'd you say, Ro?
There's a scripture that says, "Lest these days be shortened, no flesh will be saved."
right?
Yeah.
But the other thing is, all right, so those are the major things that are happening, but so many people are infected with just the bad habits of even the small portions of, environmental abuse, plastic, straws, littering, right, having to have, some type of plastic bag for everything you do, or encasing or whatever. Like those,
it's horrible for the
yeah,
planet.
like so many industries have to stop and get shut down.
Well, see, now
to slow that down.
That's now we talking about
And
the
I
difference
will
between.
not have this conversation on radio no more. We're gonna talk about that in private.
But that's the difference between corporate interests and life,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like corporate, like serious corporate interests and life. And literally coming on the air today, I was like, do we talk about this? Like, we talk about going to protest. I get it. We talk about changing the laws. Like, really, I get it, right? But where is the interest in like air, right? Because without air, there are no bill
over.
signings,
It's over.
right? It's a done deal. Without
Yeah.
water to drink and I mean to bathe in, and like, but where is the awareness?
Yeah. So Will Smith's kids, well, at least I know this is one of Jaden Smith's like biggest pushes is like environmental responsibility. So they have the box water.
He's got a food truck, doesn't he?
He's got
As
a
well?
food
Where
truck.
he gives out free meals.
Yeah, he gives out free meals, and then he also now has. I saw him, I guess it's investment in some type of like upsell clothing company.
Okay.
So like,
I didn't see
They're
that one.
recycling clothes.
yeah,
Oh, they're recycling clothes. Okay. Him and his sister, or just
It's him.
Just him?
And some
Okay.
other, other influencers. So it's just like, that's pretty dope, because once they start to get that, especially from a kid like Jaden, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, he is like millennial, like quintessential. He is the poster child for millennial. Right?
Right.
And how they talk, walk, look, behave, their environments. So his message is going to spread, and they got like all kind of other big celebrities, even in invested into I think it's called Box Water, I think, something like that. But everything is like environmentally, minded.
got it.
So, I think with more initiatives like that, we can, or the rest of us starting to take part in those initiatives. I know it's kind of a underlining, kind of, what do you call it? Residual or mission of the Black Mall, which is sustainability, because again, when you're supporting Black business owners, you're supporting the majority of them being just naturally environmentally conscious.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah. So, that's something that we can even push more, forward. I think through the plant-based African, not only eating vegan is healthy literally for you, it is like completely healthy for the environment, because when you're consuming vegetables and you're not consuming meats, then you don't have to have huge farms that over process the vegetables to just feed the animals.
Well, you're spending right now. We take more than a third of the planet's resources. More than a third, to feed animals, and people are starving.
Yeah. So
That's crazy.
It's interesting as I listen to everybody's mission. I think about my own, the vision to create sustainable communities. That's what Bob is committed to, building our posterity. Building sustainable communities, because just like you just talked about, the meat and the backlash of doing something that's really not natural or not necessarily the best utilization of resources. That's the same thing in our community. Having Black men of able body and energy not working during the day committing crimes because they don't have a sustainable job. The family's broken down. Now we got to overemphasize prisons and got to add to the police force. We're doing all kinds of things because we don't have a green economy within our community. So it's bigger than just the vegan diet. It extends to every other thing that is in our community, which is why we have to subdue them and we have to take ownership. Because in the absence of that, I think that we find that we continually destroy. We hustling backwards, to say it simply. Hustling backwards on every front.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I often say, because I find myself really being more of a food activist, a healing activist, right? Because I think it's very revolutionary to change your thought about food, because we don't live in food deserts. We have to change the definition of food. If you have water, soil, air, and sun, there's food. There are too many vacant lots. There's too much green space. We don't have a shortage of food. We just don't know what food is.
And changing the different definition of acquiring resources.
Right.
Right. We think that you only can get something by having money. Right.
Right.
And if I got a stigma or I don't have the proper education, then I can't find the job. But literally, you can, for that little $5 that you've begged for today, you can go buy yourself, and I'm going to say it like this, a shitload of seeds.
You can.
And then go ahead and plant them.
And never have to like
never
literally
ask for anybody for food again.
Yeah.
But we're spoiled in our oppression. It's crazy.
We're spoiled in our oppression. That should be a book.
Man.
But yeah, absolutely. Okay, so look.
Write it down.
Look,
That's
we got to go to break. We're going to take this break at the 2:00 hour. Ro, stick with us. I want to have a conversation on the other side of what does it mean to be a proud American. I got into a conversation around 9/11, and I got into it with a trusted friend. So there was genuine curiosity, and I'm afraid that's what it was. But I'm going to tell the story when we come back. What does it mean to be a proud American? And if I'm not, should I leave?
This is so loaded. I'm good.
So anyway, listen, you all. We're going to go to break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about what it means to be a proud American. It is the green side of things. Sadeek,
Cassiopeia,
we need you to do this for us. We need you to like,
comment,
and share. And we need you to do it right now. We'll come back on the other side of this. We'll see you after these words.
WIIFTBPM. WIIFTBP. Media's just for you and me. WIIFTBP. Media's just for you and me.
Introducing your trusted source for high-quality Black emojis, better known as Blackmoji. We believe Black is beautiful, and that beauty should be reflected in the digital market. Now there is an app that does just that, starting with Black Greek letter organizations. Blackmoji D9 offers more than an emoji app. It is a cultural experience of Black excellence. Download the app in the Apple or Google Play Store to access a specially curated catalog of emojis representing the Divine Nine. Use the emojis to celebrate Black Greek events, acknowledge current events, support social causes, and learn about esteemed Black Greek members who blaze the trail of Black history. A portion of every subscription goes toward a scholarship fund specifically for members of Black Greek letter organizations to help keep the legacy alive. Download the Blackmoji app today.
In line genius and insane. God, immortal. Yeah. Every minute I fight with authority, striving to be godly with an intelligence quotient that exceeds numerology. Scholar body honorary, school of prophet alum, anthropomorphized lessons so I can become the heartbeat of righteousness. The everyday fight to pump the blood of kings and breathe the breath of life. Moving up like Confederates and Yankee territories in the 17th century. But it's a thin line between divinity and iniquity. The Mason Dixon hidden and complacent decisions can't escape the collision. Time be idle like Billy, party like a rock star, fall like that girl that used to endorse Trim Spa or Nirvana's lead vocalist, the clientele of the dream merchant like Mr. Chappelle. People think I'm sick in the mind and leave the comforts of Babylon behind and book flights on airlines to Africa. Traveling the globe, accomplishing goals like Ronaldinho. The victim of a level 12 quake, I rise through the wreckage, repairing brain damage and striving for perfection. Your mind can be your worst antagonist or a true pal, and you shall become legendary and futile. Decisions of a god in training on a daily basis. I nap purposely, trying to escape it. The thin line between the mastermind and the man of the master. Which one are you after? The thin line between being a legend and being the captive. Which one are you after? The thin line between a mastermind and a man of the master. Which one are you after? The thin line between being a god and being the captive. Which one are you after? Free or rot in the industry. Babylon, the great machine runs off solar energy. Souls power the engine. We empower our enemies.
My observation is
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome back. What's happening out there? Chicago, Atlanta, New York, LA. We see you all out there.
All
we
right
see you out there,
now.
Tiger. We see you out there, Sharon. We see you out there, Kenneth Steele. We got people. T.
Okay.
Renee is out there in the audience. We thank you all for tuning in. We see some of you are also watching on YouTube Live as well, Facebook and YouTube. We have with us today Mr. Ro Davis. He is an activist and an entrepreneur. And just want to give him a shout out. He and his business partner, just where did the beauty supply store go up?
Yes.
Solo Beauty.
Oh, wait, sorry. Go ahead, Ro.
No, Solo Beauty. We're at 9011 South Ashland Avenue. We've been open almost 2 months now. I want to thank Sister Cassie. We've got some exciting things. She was very instrumental in helping us launch the grand opening. And we have developed a partnership that I think is going to be very instrumental for Black business.
Yes.
Yeah, very
Speaking of that, aside, my administrative says, did you look at that form? You can ask me later. Keep going.
And I'm just going to say, being next to her administrative person, please look at that form. just so we don't have to. Oh, move the cup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There we go. All right. Thank you, sir. All righty.
It's empty.
So, Ro, I want you to and Cassie and Ron, welcome everybody back. Please, we ask that you like, comment, and share.
Nothing.
We need you to do it right now. Bring some people around this lunch table for the next couple of minutes. So I'm on Facebook, Ron, got to tell you, and of course I remember exactly where I was on 9/11, September 11th, when the planes hit the World Trade Center.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I remember exactly where I was actually at work, and I was at a Catholic high school on the south side. I'll leave them nameless. But I was at work, and I remember I didn't have a TV on, obviously, because I was at work. But I just remember my supervisor, who happened to be a white male, running through the hallway saying, "I want blood." And I was like, man, what he want some blood for? And then at that point, somebody hit. I don't know if the second plane had hit yet, but it was still action going on.
Yeah.
And then the Pentagon hadn't been hit yet. But anyway, I'm just saying that last month was. Are we in September still?
Yeah.
Okay, this month is September. So I'm scrolling through Facebook. I see a post, and it wasn't out of the ordinary, but it asked a really good question. The post said, "Are you proud to be an American?" And so I thought about it. I usually try not to engage on Facebook because I know I have some very different ideas, but I do like reading and going through the posts. So anyway, are you proud to be an American? And so I actually typed me, George Floyd, and my enslaved ancestors vote no. And so the question for me is, what does it mean to be a proud American? And I tell you, because you can be an American. Like, I'm a Bears fan. I don't know particularly right now if I'm a proud Bears fan. So I think that there is, I'm hearing a little background noise. I got it. I think that there is a difference between being something and then being a proud something. But what does it mean to be a proud American? Michelle Obama got tripped up by this when she said during Barack Obama's run, she said, "For the first time in my life, I am a proud American." And the press ate her up.
Yeah.
The press ate her up. So, and then in my reply, and it wasn't even at first from the person who made the post. It was somebody else, and they were like, "Well, if you're not proud, why don't you leave?"
They sent that to you?
They sent that to me, and the first time I heard somebody say, "Why don't you leave?" was from my poli-sci lecture class at U of I. There were about 350 students in the class, and a young black girl got up and expressed her disdain with the political system. It was a poli-sci class.
Right.
And a white boy got up after her, Caucasian gentleman, Caucasian gentleman got up after her. Yeah, I wanted to clean it up. White boy got up and he said, "If you don't like it here, why don't you go back to Africa?" And that was the first time. And usually you hear that. You hear that from frustrated, angry Europeans, right? Because logically it would be like, "Man, why don't we both leave? We could go through Europe and drop your ass off, and then because you don't belong here either."
Right.
But the arrogance and the stupidity of the European gentleman. But I found it to be interesting that I was being asked this question by black people.
Yeah.
Like, you know what? But when Master sneeze, I guess we get a cold. Like, it's
we sick.
We sick, boss. Why won't they leave, boss? So and I don't want to turn it into that, but my question still stands. What does it mean to be a proud? Can you just be an American? Do you have to be proud? Because again, I'm a Bears fan. I stand here today. I'll tell you. Now, am I a proud Bears fan? Not right now.
That could go for the Bulls.
I'm a Bulls
and the Cubs and
fan.
the White Sox off and on too.
Yeah, exactly. But the point is, are you allowed to? And I'm asking because I'm obviously, and you all can put it in here. What we have, frustrated. Oh, racist. Okay, but what does that mean when you hear it?
Are you proud to be American? I mean,
my answer would be hell no. If somebody asked me that.
And then I would be, well, why aren't you proud? But yeah, are you? What does it mean to be a proud American?
So yeah, I guess it just all depends on, I think, what lens are we looking at it from? Is
what is an American?
Is it
what
a
makes,
catch-on?
What makes an American?
I mean, I think what makes an American is this is your nationality. Like, this is where you are.
I don't think that's what people mean when they ask that question, because of course you're from here, but to be an American means that you participate in the American ways.
But you do.
A lot of people don't. Everybody don't. You don't celebrate 4th of July?
That's not the
That's
only
an-
thing.
Well,
that
hold on.
makes
Let's
America America.
do this.
That's an
Let's do this.
example.
Let's look at the definition of proud.
So, right. But see, the thing is, right? So this is where it gets tricky, for me, right? If we're talking now, for me, it's am I proud of the American government? No. Proud American as a black woman is just not even in my lexicon because it ain't supposed to be. I want to address that part. It ain't supposed to be. If I was to say that, they coming for me like Stacey Dash, right? And it may not have nothing
Who's
to
Stacey
do.
Dash?
Come on now, stop playing with me.
Niecy Nash or Stacey Dash?
Stacey Dash from Clueless.
Who the DC Dash?
The pretty Niecy Nash is from she's Nails, Claws. She was the star of that. She was like a security lady on some show before that.
Anyway.
You know Niecy Nash when you see her.
But go ahead.
Anyhow, right.
Stacey Dash.
Stacey Dash from Clueless, pretty black girl.
Okay.
But she's like, she came out maybe like 10 years ago as like a huge Republican. But she did see though. So it was over for her. It was curtains for her. She went on Wendy. It was curtains. Curtains for Stacey Dash.
Sisters
Canceled.
ate her alive.
Okay, everybody laid her alive. It's just
Okay.
canceled. Right.
Okay.
Right. So, right. Like, it's real easy. Ron, you'd be like, you love the shot. You love Chicago. We would all say that with no problems, ifs, and buts about it, right? America, though, does come with a stigma, although Chicago is sitting right inside of America and practices a lot of the worst aspects of America. But we say we love the shot all day, every day. I don't want to not say that I don't love this land, because it's still God's land. It is melanated people's land.
But that's a different question. That's a different question.
But America represents all of it. And that's the part that makes it tough, right, when you talking to woke black folks and being out here because you have definitions and then you have context.
But you see,
So now we got to kind of ask, we got to dig a little bit deeper if you give a crap about what people think about what you say. And I'm a kind of person that does.
that
I'm
makes
gonna
you
be
think
honest.
you got to think about the question. He asking, are you proud to be an American? Not are you proud to be in America or be from America?
What was the question?
Different. That's
What does it mean to be a proud American?
American, not to be from.
What does
'cause
that
to be
mean?
from-
What's
you
the
can-
difference?
Because to say I like the land, like I like America. Of course you can like the land, but being the person from the land is different. You know what I'm saying? Like there's difference from saying like, yeah, that's like if somebody visits America. It's like, yeah, I like America, but I don't like Americans. You know what I'm saying? It's different. It's different than.
Do you not like Americans?
I think
Yeah. Like, let's really be real. Besides these 1% white folks that we talking about, do you hate all Americans?
I don't hate all Americans, but I'm not. I wouldn't
I don't
say
think
I'm
he was
proud
talking
to
about
be-
him hating
yeah,
Americans.
I'm one of the people who would say I'm not proud to be an American. Like I don't subscribe to like I'm proud to be an American.
What is what is this right? Where are we going with this? So when you say American, then you're speaking
Then I mean
only,
that means that you're participating in the American culture.
I just have a
but
question.
you are.
Can
You
I
are
be-
A lot of people
participating
don't. Like,
every day.
a lot of people don't though. Like a lot. Like I'm talking about like American holidays, American pastimes.
I have a time out.
But let me finish something though. Because we have to then say American. If you're saying, are you a proud American?
Right.
Then you are then
From saying, are you proud to be from America?
Talking about the negative pieces of America, or what we look at as the American pieces of America.
We're looking at what was made from being in America, like the holidays that was created in America. Those are American holidays. You know what I'm saying? Like the sports, those are American sports. If you
don't like basketball or football, stop it.
but that's different. That's different though.
So
That's
let me-
different than
so let
saying
me-
you're
so let
proud
me
to-
say
to
this.
say you're being proud to
You
be an
proud
American.
to see them teams.
No, you could like a team. You could be proud of the
Let
team.
me-
not
let me
being
read the
proud of being
definition of
proud-
proud.
Being an American, though.
Go ahead.
Well, first of all, let me just say two things, because I don't think you have to be a proud American. I just think you can be an American, just like you can be a Bears fan.
What I want to
So-
say is,
so
I don't think
let
you
me-
have to have an issue with saying you're a proud American. It does not necessarily mean that you are a Tea Partier. It doesn't mean that you're necessarily one of the Proud Boys. It doesn't have to mean that.
Well, I don't
America
think
is
you-
a lot of things.
But
But
you
America
just
is
said
our
technically
people
we shouldn't
too.
even be saying it anyway.
No. What I said is, as a black woman, it
doesn't-
doesn't look good for me to say it because of the collective thought of our people. Now, because there's more to America. Like, we are a part of this construct. Period. Your
I mean, we gotta
ancestors
be
are
proud
proud of
of
it,
it.
and there's a lot of things that we contribute that I'm damn for sure proud of. That didn't come out of any other place but right here, and for whatever way that it came. There's a lot of crap. There's a lot of jewels that come out of crap. So what I want to say is, even though, like I said, I'm not going to necessarily say it, I don't want us to put a stigma on people who choose to say it and those who choose not to say it. I think both ways can be out there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're. Well, for me personally, it was never about putting a stigma on anybody.
always
Just
to each
asking
his
the
own.
question.
It's always.
But proud, incidentally, means feeling deep pleasure or satisfaction as a result of a person's or an entity's achievements, qualities, or possessions. Deep.
I got you. Well, let me say this too.
A deep pleasure or satisfaction. None of which I have.
So that means
me
we're talking
personally.
about America's. That means we have to go back to the America's history and all of that, and we have to think about: are we proud of all of that?
Listen.
So
can y'all hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, Ro.
Let me just say this. I certainly, there are some things that, have been done in America that were bad by people who run America. But I am proud to be an American. And I'm rooting for America. Everybody I love live in America. I would be like, I don't know that you get it both ways. It's a great idea that we're going to move and go somewhere. But I'm not building all these businesses and doing the things that I'm doing because I'm praying on this bitch to fall. Choose my language. I'm praying that we're going to overcome the issues. And I believe in American values. I believe in the ideas that America was built on, that we will overcome these issues and become the place where we can all find peace one day. Is it there? No, but I'm not rooting against America. That's silly. That's like me being a spirit in my body and then hoping my body gonna fail. But I'm trying to live eternally. I mean, well, that didn't make no sense, but you know what I'm trying to say.
It didn't, but it's cool. I'm with you.
I got it.
I ain't rooting against America. I'm rooting for America. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, you know what? I still think that that's a separate issue. I'm big on not conflating or pushing issues together, which I think is what we do when we get into emotional thought. But I still think that you could not be rooting against America and not be proud.
Exactly.
You can. I think all of those pieces are possible.
I'm just stating it. It's not. So I don't think your phrase is in opposition to anything. I just think you're rooting for America.
And he can also have pride in it.
I didn't say he couldn't.
Okay,
That's
so
my point.
I think that's the part that I think is being. It's like it's almost like pulling out the fact that Rose said he's proud of it.
No, I think my whole point is because it was like if you're not proud, it almost positioned like you're rooting against it. So what I'm saying is, to the point, is that you don't have to be proud and you don't have to root against it. It doesn't have to be, I'm proud and I'm rooting for it, right? You can not be proud, be like, man, it's like, to me, it's like looking at a rehab. Like this needs a lot of work. I'm not proud. I'm not getting ready to show it. Not getting ready to talk about it. Now, when the work gets done,
that's kind of like with the
and we get the kitchen straight, and we get we get the kitchen straight, we get the bathroom straight. Like it's a lot of straightening up that's got to do before this is showcased or there's any amount of pride associated with it. Let's get to work.
But I also want to just say that you can also be currently proud and not proud of the whole history.
That's cool.
Right? I could be like, I've been in buildings, right? I remember when I first went to UIC, I hated it. It was a piece of crap.
I can see.
It was a piece of crap at first to me. It was it wasn't that many buildings. They only had, 2 dorms, one for the medical students and one for the general population. The one for the general population was super small. We didn't have any type of space to go. I was like, oh my God.
Was there no air conditioning?
I hate
Chicago
it.
State only got 1 dorm room.
Listen, but Chicago State was there was a culture inside of Chicago State that I at least appreciated when I visited it, right? But at UIC, we lacked a lot of those things. So, you know what I said, you know what? I'm going to put, and I ain't proud of how the U of I system was necessarily built upon. But by the time I graduated, and then even afterwards, I became very proud of UIC and the growth, the development, and because specifically my people put work in at that school. I am without a doubt for certain that my class and all of the movers and shakers that contributed to the organizations at UIC are a part of what pushed UIC towards becoming more of a actual on-campus university, because it was more of a commuter school. It's now they got 5-6 dorms, huge ones, a whole what do you call that? A university row of bars and commercial
right
spaces.
Off of
Roosevelt,
right, in Halsted,
right. So it's something that I am proud of afterwards, and so that's where what I guess I just want to say, right? You can live here and be a happy citizen or a peaceful citizen or whatever and not be proud of what America stands for. And I think you can live here and know the oppression, be directly of that oppression, and be proud of what it is today. I think both are possible from Black people specifically. Right? I think it's
I think it's all
sides.
possible. I just I asked the question because of the way the response came back in the post, which is, why don't you leave?
Carry your ass out of here.
Yeah. But my response was equally as potent, which is my ancestors paid the price for me to live wherever I want to live on this planet.
Yeah.
Period. Whether you have a problem with what I said, whether you have a problem with lack of being proud, if you have a problem with my ability to sit it out. Right, I'm literally in my sabbatical phase. I'm not pulling for anything until I get down to the nitty gritty of it. Mm-hmm. So I can't even say that. To Rose's point, I mean, I have family all over. All of my family is not here. I have family in all over the world. I've got family members in China, in Japan, in South Africa, and Kenya. I have people I care about all over the planet. So for me, again, it's about these sustainable systems. Am I necessarily pulling for America? If America as a whole is tearing down the planetary systems, then no, I can't pull for you. Sorry, I can't. Because there are even when you run a business, there are things that supersede some smaller things, if I've got great work practices, but my job is to, board up, whatever buildings or whatever, because there's no access, or if I'm in a law firm that has great relations inside, but the whole thing we do is block access for minorities into business, then it's not a good business. It's got some good practices, but there's an overall overarching piece. So just to say, to me, and I know it's well thought out, I'm not saying it's not well thought out, but am I pulling for governments that don't have the sustainability of the planet at heart? No, I'm not. Sorry. I'm just not pulling for you. Now, am I actively working against you? Am I walking around mad and upset? Nope. Like I said, my ancestors paid the price. I can live anywhere I choose to, just like yours did. So
Sadeek, I agree with that, but you cannot, in my statement that I'm pulling for America, I'm pulling for the best of America. Implicit in that is that I'm hopeful that we're going to get it together. I don't stand in the face of all of those terrible things that you mentioned and things that you might be able to think of to say I'm cool with that. I believe in the system of democracy and in the construct of our ability to make a difference and to make change happen. I believe in that, and I've seen people change things that get determined. And there are other countries where you don't have the luxury of speaking out. You know, I don't believe that black people came to America by accident. How do you take God and put him in prison unless it's sanctioned by God?
Ooh.
And so why would God sanction something like that unless there's a bigger mission for those people? Something about America is a part of our destiny. And so I don't curse the womb out of which we were born. Because when I get eyes, legs, and the strength to stand on my own, I'm going to have the compassion to rule the world, coming from a world where it lacked compassion for me. This is a part of our leadership training to run the world. That's how I see it. So now I don't hate America. Yes, I'm pulling for America. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not, ashamed. And I'm sorry all this stuff happened. Trust me, I am. But I also believe in the best in people. And I think we can transcend this. Thank you.
Sure.
Yeah, I think the other thing that I'm working on, taking the sabbatical on, is apparent. I think that the philosophies and the things that we adapt take time to listen and to sort through what people are saying. And I think there's a great deal of what you said that resonates with me. And I don't even think I have the energy. I think that there are some inflammatory words, but spiritually, I don't even have the energy to root against America. Like, that's like a waste. That's a waste of energy. I don't have the energy to be mad with America. First of all, because I'm not a dog. But the reality is I'm impassioned about what I want to see the planet be, as opposed to what I don't want it to be, if that makes sense. Like, I'm looking for solutions that aren't tied up in Congress. I'm looking for a relationship to the planet, to the people, that's me personally, right? I don't have time to get caught up in if America's going to do it right. I mean, we'll see at the end the outcome, whatever it is, and I'm damn sure know from the lineage that I come from of the great things I and all of us included were born to do. So with many of that, much of what you said, I'm on the same page. Again, the question was simply, what does it mean to be a proud American? Not to hate America, dislike America, throw it out, keep it with the baby in the bathwater, because I think you can be, and you don't necessarily have to be disgruntled or proud. You could just be, and you can assess things. And I think that's the ground where I walk right now. I'm not giving any credence to, because we were certainly birthed before a slave ship. And so I refuse to give a slave ship credit for, the lineage goes back way too far. That's kind of in the middle of the voyage, no pun intended. But we were born for several purposes. And I definitely agree with the fact that whatever happened was sanctioned by universal forces and is for our benefit. And I think we're coming into much of that. So, I just think it's terminology and understanding. And what I shared with one of the brothers, even in the post about when they said, well, why don't you leave? I said, I think we need to talk and we need to hear each other. Because a lot of times we're talking past one another. Something catches us off guard. You're proud. I'm not. I'm this. You're not. And we really have valued viewpoints that we need to share and listen. Because at the end of the day, we're all here together, right? And it's our collective activity that that makes this thing go round. So understanding and talking to one another, I think, is valuable.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Ashe.
Yeah, real talk. Hey, Ron, what do you say we take a quick break real quick? Speaking of that, did you all know that ABC is doing equity reports on major cities? So what I want to do is take a break and let's look at the American report card as reported by ABC, the national network. They actually have an equity report. I'm going to give you the website. I pulled it up last night. It's called Our America. It's OurAmericaABC.com, and it's an equity report. And we're going to take a brief break, and we're going to see how Chicago fared in the ABC equity report. Take a look at all this greatness and all of this good stuff going on. It's the green side of things. It's your man Sadeek.
Cassiopeia.
We're going to take a little break and we'll be right back.
WIIFTBPM. WIIFTBP. Media's just for you and me. WIIFTBP. Media's just for you and me.
Shop at Black-owned and operated Solo Beauty, where you are appreciated and respected. Located at 8158 South Cottage Grove, Solo Beauty can supply all of your black hair care needs. Solo Beauty is open from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m., Tuesday through Saturday.
Well, sometimes I go out by myself and I look across the water and I think of all the things what you're doing, and in my head I paint a picture. Since I've come home, well, my body's been a mess, and I miss your ginger hair and the way you like to dress. Won't you come on over? Stop making a fool out of me. Why don't you come on over, baby?
Welcome back to the green side of things. It's your man Sadeek.
Cassiopeia.
We need you to like,
comment,
and share. We need you to do it right now. Come on around the lunch table.
check.
We just finished having a conversation about being a proud American. And I just like to make this statement. If you're proud, be proud. If you're not proud, don't be proud. If you're angry, be angry. If you're mad, be mad. If you feel good, whatever you got to do. My point in simply addressing that was a lot of times it can also be a psychological control issue. If I'm proud, I want to define that everybody should be proud because of what. No, boss, slow down. First of all, don't have to be proud, and we'll live right next door to you. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to make that clear for all of the people that feel that they need to express or chide people for not being proud Americans. Reminds me of a little tuss that almost happened in Soldier Field because, a non-melanated gentleman got a little because I was with a group of guys and we don't do the national anthem thing, but we're at Soldier Field. We chilling. We brought these seats. We got ever. Yeah. So he wanted to toss a few granules of popcorn.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And then my ship stood up.
Yeah, bro.
And we had to give the hey man, we will do this in here.
Listen.
He was like, oh, it was so control your patriotism.
Because we about to sit back down.
Relax.
Letting out one more kernel.
Nothing. Nothing.
It better not even be a fly.
Nothing
that touches me right now, because I'm going to think it's a piece of popcorn that you threw on me again.
Nothing. And he was snarky, but my ship stood up. He about 280. He was like, hey, we don't want any problems, guys. we know you didn't. We just came to watch the Bears play. That's all we want to do. If you want to stand up to the national anthem, light your drawers on fire, do that. Do what you want to do, but leave us alone. Leave us alone. What's Ro eating? Is it plant-based? I don't know. Al. I don't think so.
Definitely fried chicken, Harold's with mild sauce on it.
Question is not an individual thing, but can we as a group find reasons to be proud? Oh, I think we can find reasons to be proud as a group.
You were born.
Yeah. I'm proud. I'm so proud of this young lady I sit next to and the things that she does for black people and on a day in and day out. Proud of Ro Davis. I mean, absolutely. Can we be proud as a group? Yeah, but now if you go again, and not me, or not just me, I'm just speaking for me. If you ask me if I'm a proud American, the jury is out. Sorry.
I don't think the jury's out. I think you have a verdict, and it's a no.
Okay, I'm going with no. I'm going with no. But I'm here, and I'm very participatory.
Yes.
My kids go to school.
Yeah.
We eat. I run a business. I'm not rooting against anything. But when you read the definition of proud, deep pleasure and satisfaction, I don't have any deep pleasure and satisfaction in the concept of America. But I do have deep pleasure and satisfaction in my friends, my family, the things that we work for, a better world that I do have extreme pleasure and satisfaction in. So that's what I'll say. All right, Ro Davis. ABC Chicago Equity Report. If you all are familiar with this, put it in the comments. It's called, again, OurAmericaABC.com. And so you can, they give you an overview and they discuss inequities in housing, health, education, policing, environment, and then they also give you ways to get involved. So I don't know what sparked this for ABC, but for Chicago and the Chicagoland area, there were inequities found in 18 of the 20 measures studied. And the Chicago metro area includes Cook County, DeKalb, DuPage, Grundy, Kane, Kendall, McHenry, Will, and then Jasper Lake and Newton and Porter counties in Indiana. This the northwestern Indiana, and Kenosha, Wisconsin to the top of us.
Okay.
That so they say that
and Lansing.
Yeah, and Gary.
Gary's included?
No, I don't know. I'm just.
like, Gary's
they always throwing Gary in there somehow.
Gary need to. They back
Gary. Just back Gary up. The Gary officials, they hate stuff like that. Well, why they hate Gary?
Sorry, Gary.
Because y'all Gary.
Yeah,
it's cool. We love Gary.
We
though.
might need to just go
a lot of
help
black people in Gary.
It is definitely.
We should go do a show in there.
Chicago is
like the green side from Gary.
Aww.
Just maybe half a show.
Is there a green side of Gary? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Stop. Don't do that. We're just joking, Gary.
Jokes,
by the way, it's just all jokes. The Equity Report measures where your city stands on 20 different measures across 5 quality of life categories.
Okay.
Housing, health, education, policing, and environment. Explore your city's data across each category to learn how social inequities impact the everyday lives of people where you live. So for Chicago, they looked at data in 5 categories: segregation, segregation of home loans, home loan approval,
fail,
household income, fail, and home ownership. And what they do is they show you how many if inequity was found in any of those categories.
They found it in all of them.
Well, that was my next question.
I'm sorry.
Out of the ones I read in Chicago, how many areas were there inequity found out of 5? Cassie was right. It was 5.
I was like, all of those. Yeah. Just
It
based off of black population alone, we don't get the home loans. We're definitely segregated. What was the other 3? I can't remember now.
Okay, let's look. Here's what
Go
they
ahead.
found.
Just go through it.
This index shows how segregated the region's neighborhoods are on a scale from 1 to 100. What do you think Chicago's segregation number is, 1 to 100? So I want to answer from each of 100 being the most, 1 being the least segregated. Where is Chicago, 1 to 100?
Or second to last.
Okay, you go second to last. Ro, what do you think? 1 to 100, where does Chicago rank on the segregation meter?
90%.
You're saying 90? 90 out of 100? Okay. Ron, what do you think?
Like with 1 being the most segregated?
No, 1 being the least,
Okay.
100 being the most. Where does Chicago range 1 to 100?
And in America?
Yeah, Chicago.
Probably like 98, 97 or something.
98, 97. Okay.
I
They
know we in
in the
top
comments
95.
they putting 100,
101.
101. Where does your instinct lead you, Cassie?
So 95 comes in my head. I want to say like 99, but 95 comes because, right, they're going to find something that is going to say it's got some good diversity in the metropolitan area,
Right.
parts of Hyde Park.
That's the proud research. There's something good here.
It's Beverly area. But what is it? What's
The number is 52.
Really?
Chicago scores a 52
really
on that index,
'Cause
which
I know they're
lends
like one of the
toward
most segregated cities, period, in America.
that's high though. That is still inequitable.
Okay.
Is what they found. It's
It
highly
absolutely
inequitable.
is.
It's not 90.
Right, I had
Right.
the lowest unit, so I was.
Yeah, you won, Ro. You
What'd
had the
you
lowest
say?
number.
You said 90.
Yeah, he was closer to 52. I was gonna say 52, but I was looking at the data. Segregation of recent home loans. This index shows potential progress toward integration, measuring segregation of recent home loans on a scale from 1 to 100. A low number indicates loan applications are less segregated, and the higher number means more. Where do you think Chicago ranks on the segregation of recent home loans?
Recent home loans. And it's out of what number?
Out of 100, 1 to 100,
Still
same
100,
scale.
still 100. I'm going to say that they're going to put Chicago at like recently. Because they might be trying and the whole thing. And if it includes these other counties and with everything that happened in
Right, because of Chicago and the
Evanston,
surrounding areas.
Right.
Right.
And the whole piece with reparations and everything and how they actually were intentional about making sure that they gave, some home loans to black people, blah, 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 to get these properties there. I'm going to say that Chicago's going to be at 33.
Okay, Ro, what do you think?
Well, I'm thinking like Cassie. I was thinking in the 30s somewhere. So
Okay.
I'm going to say,
Okay, that's pretty good. You guys went a little under on that. Chicago is still at 46, approaching 50%. Yeah, basically inequity in recent home lending. All right, it's some other categories, but I found this one to be interesting inside of the real estate or the housing household income. This chart, there's some music playing in the background. Okay, cool. This chart shows the gap in median household income across the region, Chicago. Researchers have found that black applicants are hired less and paid less,
Right, absolutely.
even with the same education and experience. The advantage for white families is substantial,
Yeah.
with black Latino or Hispanic families earning at least 10% less in all 100 metro areas.
Yeah.
So, how far do you think the black median income is behind white median income?
Oh, sheesh.
And this is just our area. This is just
like 50%.
Yeah. What were you gonna say,
I've
Ro?
seen that number before.
Well, I agree with Cassie, man. I think that you're going her way. But I was going to say, that I know that our income is 10 times. White families have 10 times more wealth than black families.
Yeah, so their median income in Chicago and the surrounding areas is at $85K.
Yeah. Yep.
And the black median income
Like
is
40
$42.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And that went down because I think their median was like more like closer
Well, this
to
is supposed to
100.
be. Yeah, they went down.
But
Well,
that's
the
only because
Asians
of
went
COVID.
past them.
Because they're not playing.
No, Karate Kid is not playing.
Because they're the new colonizer of the world.
They are not playing with it.
I would imagine that their people would get more than other people coming to get the same job.
Wait, one more time.
Say that again, Ro.
What I'm saying is that makes sense to me that if white people are responsible for creating the jobs, they're going to ensure that their people get jobs that pay better than ours. If I were hiring and I was the creator of the job, I'm going to stick my neck out for black people.
Absolutely.
I don't think that number's, anything wrong. This is what it is. That just says we need to get out there and create our own damn jobs. That's what that says.
I love that, Ro. I love that because it makes sense, and you're right.
I will point out though, what is bogus, right? When you do hire a black person that's in the same position as a white person, that it sticks out when that black person's salary is lower.
Oh, absolutely.
That's when it becomes. That's when it becomes like an issue because I'm always with you, Ron, regards to let's just create our own. But if a black person, especially a black woman, because she gonna be lower than everybody, right, comes for the same position as someone else, she should have that same
she need that pay
salary,
right?
That same salary.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's go through this real quick. The areas of health, they boiled it down to 3 areas. Access to health insurance, life expectancy, and access to affordable, healthy food.
95.
No.
Oh, okay.
How many out of those 3 areas, where did they find inequity?
Do it one more time. So health insurance, food,
Access to health insurance, life expectancy, and access to affordable, healthy food.
I'm sure black people was at the bottom rung of that.
I mean, I feel like it's across all of them, but they're only finding it in one of the 3?
No, they found it in 2 of the 3.
Oh, okay.
They found it in access. They found it inequitable in our area.
Access
to health insurance.
Health insurance.
Life expectancy.
Okay.
But they found equity in access to affordable, healthy food. They found that to be equitable.
I mean, yeah, every one of the neighborhoods or sides of town that we dominate, you're gonna find Jewels, Aldi's, Walmart, and even in some of those places, Whole Foods and Mariano's. Because now we got Whole Foods.
You got Whole Foods in Inglewood, right?
It's in Inglewood. It's in Hyde Park. Whole Foods is on. It's on the near west side, I believe, of, so you can still get to it. And you damn for sure gonna trip over Jewels and Aldi's. Right.
And you got a brand new Jewel. Well, I don't know, brand new, but right there on Cottage. And it's a really nice Jewel. Yeah, it's like in the 60s, like a Cottage on. We have to go by there. It's a nice Jewel. Somebody type that in if you're familiar with that.
Yeah,
with that Jewel
we got grocery
store.
stores. We just have to start choosing them ourselves instead of corner stores.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. And get this crab salad. Okay, education. School. These are the 4 areas. How many of these areas were found inequitable?
Okay.
School days missed to discipline. Schools with unequal discipline. Advanced courses like advanced placement, and digital tools at home.
Oh shit! Digital tools, advanced placement, for sure. And then the other one,
Schools with unequal discipline. And I read a little. Unequal discipline means white kid does something, black kid does the same thing.
And
Who
they
gets more discipline?
Oh God, and definitely that.
And then school days missed to discipline. They found inequity in all.
I'm sure.
In the whole educational system.
Yeah.
If you are black, Latino, or considered a minority in the system, your education is in danger.
Yeah. Because let Tommy come to school.
Right. Because you're going to spend more time out of school.
With his dad's Swiss Army knife.
All right.
The teacher is just going to be like, just put that up, Tommy.
Right. Tommy was upset today, so he brought out his Swiss Army
But Jamal, though, you about to go, you might get escorted out. You might get arrested.
Right.
Depending on the day and the irritation level of the staff.
And you've got to spend a whole week outside of the classroom.
Yeah.
Based on that. Okay, last area. There are more, but we'll do this and then we'll wrap up the show. Policing. They looked at 3 areas. Arrest, drug enforcement, and diversity of police forces.
Arrest, drug enforcement,
and diversity of police forces. Did they find?
Come on, man, it's everywhere.
They found inequity in all 3 areas.
Yeah.
Black people and brown people are arrested more than their white counterparts for the same offenses. Drug enforcement. Studies show that Europeans use the same amount of drugs as minorities or more, but they get arrested the least.
Yeah.
And diversity of police forces, we don't even have to.
First of all,
really
they
go
invented
into
the pharmaceuticals like industry, like real talk. So like the abuse of drugs is like completely an origination of white folks.
Hey, somebody put, we need freedom schools. We got some freedom schools out there.
Check out Freedom Home Academy.
Absolutely. Shout out to the whiteboard and Marcus Klein. That's my man. Listen, you all, we only got a couple minutes left. Ro Davis, I want to thank you for today. I want to thank everybody that hung in there with us. Sharon, Alvin, the list goes on and on. Jazzy, thanks for tuning in today. Cassie, it was a pleasure having you. Guys, next week, we couldn't do it this week. But we're working on that update about the Hebrews, the Israelites getting expelled. The order came back that they have to just a portion of the community has to vacate the land. So we want to give you an update on that. We're also going to bring some around the seas, some overseas news with us next week, so we can see what's happening in places like Ghana or Kenya. That are really on the radar, because we're an international people. We're not just from LA to New York. We're all over the place. So we want to bring that to you. So we thank you for tuning in with us today. Remember, you can go back and watch this. You can share it with people. We need you to do that. We are Wednesdays from 1 to 3. As the fall season progresses, we'll see you next week. So I'm Sadeek.
And Cassiopeia.
And as we always say, peace.